Starting out our hour of news here on WCNC Plus, I'm Colin Mayfield. Nick Carboni is here. We're going to bring him in here in a second. We have Danielle Stein waiting for us at the Kia Center. Huge game ahead of us tonight, Nick. What are your big storylines to go along?
Well, I mean, the biggest one is that the Charlotte Hornets just went from 4-14 to start the season to 48 minutes from their first playoff appearance in a decade. This turnaround from this team has been probably the best overall story in the NBA this season. And I do think, regardless of what happens tonight, Colin, it's here to stay. I keep getting asked, like, is the Magic, for lack of a better word, going to run out going into next season? I don't think it has. I think you have now a 4-month sample size of the Charlotte Hornets being a top 10 team in the NBA, and that might not be it may be better than that.
Right.
I mean, they've got the number 1 offense in the NBA and the number 5 defense in the NBA since the calendar turned to 2026. So clearly Charles Lee in his second year broke through to this team. Their young core stayed healthy. LaMelo Ball playing 70 games. Brandon Miller overcoming an early shoulder injury to play the majority of the season. Con Knipple, the rookie, missing just 1 game. Rookie Sion James playing every single game. Miles Bridges still durable. So it's been a remarkable season. I think they have a better chance. I thought before Tuesday's playing against Miami, if they could get through the heat, it's kind of like that boss you can't get by, that level you can't get through in a video game. They're going to have the confidence and the momentum to get through whoever is next. And we'll talk to Danielle Stein down there live in a minute in Orlando. She knows the Magic very well. She used to cover them and knows all the key players and pieces down there.
Yeah.
And the one thing the Hornets have over the Magic, throw out the stats, throw out all the X's and O's, which they have advantages all over the place, they have togetherness. And the Magic do not right now.
Right.
They're a team that seems fractured and headed for a split with their head coach and star player. So I think all the momentum, all the energy, all the good vibes are on the Hornets side tonight.
All right, well, hopefully that'll carry them. Let's bring in Danielle Stein. Danielle, we just got an update from Charlotte Hornets PR about Moussa Diabate. Give us the latest there on his return tonight.
A little bit of an injury, it seemed like, at the end of their game against the Heat just the other day. Moussa came into the day listed as questionable. Earlier this morning, though, I did see him going through shoot-around with the team. And then just tonight, he went in his normal slot where he does do his pregame warm-ups on the court, which is a good sign in and of itself. So we talked to Charles Lee. At that point, he hadn't seen or heard about how Moussa did during that time, but he said from everything he had heard, he was trending upwards, and we now know officially Moussa is available tonight for the Hornets, which is huge. He has been all over the offensive glass, especially this season, one of the best in the NBA when it comes to offensive rebounds and just taking that step forward like we talked about with so many of these other guys too, who have stepped up in the moment when it needed them most. Looking at the center depth, though, too, Ryan Kalkbrenner is someone who also has continued to show so much growth in his rookie season. Of course, he's a bit of an older rookie, so he's coming in a little bit more mature, but Ryan also knows how to deliver when it comes to getting those boards and those putbacks we saw against the Heat. Some huge and very timely putbacks in those moments. But yes, Moussa should be available, and we should be hearing the starting lineup any second as well.
Yeah, Danielle, one of the best starting lineups in the NBA since January 1st. No coincidence it occurred, really pivoted when Moussa entered that starting lineup. So you were at shoot-around this morning. What was kind of the mood around the team? What did everybody kind of want to ask Charles Lee and LaMelo Ball about today?
Yeah, everyone was honestly seeming like they're in good spirits. It doesn't seem like the moment is too big for them as they're getting ready for this one today. Like we could say, that felt similar to how they came into the other one. But honestly, they got the Band-Aid ripped off for being in a play-in game just the other day, getting a win, so they should be coming in with confidence. And I asked Charles Lee a little bit about that, of course, that was a really emotionally charged game. How do you wipe the slate as you're getting ready for a new one? And he said, honestly, I want to bring that emotion into this one because there were so many good things and lessons that we could take from that win against Miami just the other day, that yes, it's a different team against Orlando. It's a different setting of being on the road this time, but that togetherness, like you mentioned, and that joy that they play with as well too. I asked Charles Lee specifically about that joy that they seem to play with and talk about, that they look like they're always having fun out there. So many crazy passes between guys, big threes, celebrations. this team knows how to have fun, and when they do it together, it seems like that they're having a blast. So he said, as long as we're playing our together style of basketball, we feel good about us against just about any situation.
You're such the best person to be down there because you are familiar with the Kia Center, you are familiar with the Orlando Magic, their current personnel, their current head coach. You talk about, and you're also familiar with the same, as you just alluded to, with the Hornets. You talk about the Hornets' togetherness. What's going on with Orlando? Because it seems anything but together right now for them, and I think that plays into Charlotte's hands.
Yeah, I don't want to give names, but I've been definitely talking to a lot of my former colleagues working here in Orlando, just the other media folks, and it feels like there's a sense of pessimism coming into this game. It doesn't feel like there's that excitement level that they are on the cusp of making the playoffs themselves. This team doesn't seem like the belief is as strong as we're seeing on the other side of the opposition with the Hornets. I sat in on Jamal Mosley's press conference earlier tonight as well too, just because I was obviously interested in hearing what he had to say, and while his words might not have said it, just the facial expressions and the tone of his voice, it felt almost a little deflated and maybe a little defeated. Of course, he said we're coming in with every motivation to be winning this game. They know it's the same situation. It's win and advance or lose and go home or stay home in the Magic's case here. But there's definitely been some fallout in that locker room that has been noted pretty much all year long. Paolo Banchero is their superstar. They have invested in him, picking him first overall just a couple years ago. He is their guy. His shot has not been falling to the same caliber that they'd like to be seeing lately, but it seems to be a little bit of a fracture in that locker room right now. The Magic are also a team who have dealt with health big time this season. Franz Wagner missing significant time, actually missing more than half of the season, just coming back on April 1st actually. Paolo himself missing some time. Other players you can name like Anthony Black, who has been huge as he's developing in his game as well too. They can't get a solid lineup. Tonight is the first night, though. It feels like they have a complete picture of what this Magic team could be, and they've got a lot of size, too. So if they can band together, they will be a challenge for the Hornets.
Danielle, I'll wrap up with this and let you guys get going. I know you got to get set up for player introductions and the beginning of this pivotal game for the Hornets and Magic. You've covered this Hornets rookie class extensively. You've sat down with all of them. You've reported on all of them. How big of an impact has, from Con Knippel on down, had on winning this season? And follow up, we think Con's shots are going to fall tonight, because that'd be nice.
I want to mirror it back to this Magic team, because when I first came to Orlando, actually, it was just as they were drafting Paolo, and you could see the impact of buying into a really strong rookie and what that could do to a franchise. That was taken tenfold here in Charlotte when it came to getting Con fourth overall, and then getting that whole class. We've seen that impact up and down. I know you mentioned Sion as an example, someone who's been in every single game this season. Ryan Cockrenner on the glass as well. His rebounding and those putbacks have been significant. And Liam McNeely, well, he's been down in Greensboro for a lot of the year. He's also starting to develop more and more and getting those minutes, as we've been seeing too. This rookie class is something that, yes, the skill is there, but they came in with a level of maturity too. Because first of all, two of them were not just freshmen who are now going on into the NBA. Two of them, Ryan and Sion, have a little age on them too, but there's a sense of maturity and a sense of togetherness between that core that we've seen as they've developed as a year too. And if we're talking mature, Con Knippel, he said, I've been called an old soul my whole life. There is no doubt in my mind that Con is going to have back-to-back poor games. Of course, we saw him go 0 for 6 from shooting threes just a couple days ago. Charles Lee did want to note he was excellent defensively against Miami, so yes, threes is a big part of his game, and yes, he did finish leading the entire NBA in that statistic, but he is more than just that. I have no doubt that Con will be able to rebound tonight in order to get back to that same level that we have seen him play at all year long. That should and hopefully will be naming him Rookie of the Year very soon.
Danielle Stein live for us at the Kia Center in Orlando ahead of 7:30 tip between the Hornets and the Magic. Magic in what will be the final play-in game in the Eastern Conference. Hornets looking to move on to the first round against Detroit. Danielle, I know you got to get to watching the game, and we look forward to your post-game coverage tonight at 11 o'clock here on WCNC Charlotte.
We will see you then for sure.
All right, Colin, here we are.
It's gonna be obviously exciting. As you said, Khan's got to shoot better. I think the whole team's got to shoot better. I saw they
30% against the Heat. They overcame that.
Right.
The fact that they overcame that to win that game is incredible. Miles Bridges carried them early, both offensively and defensively, and they just kept, answering when Miami answered. But yeah, that three-point shot is what they're going to ride, and they shot it a heck of a lot better than Tuesday. Last time against the Magic, it was the Del Curry night at Spectrum Center.
That's right.
And they should put him back in the season, although he was at the Heat game too. They should put him in the booth, but that's another story.
Right.
But yeah, the three-point shot's got to fall for everybody, including Con Knipple tonight.
All right, less than 20 minutes away. We'll have it for you and every piece of the post game right here, not only on WCNC Plus, but WCNC Charlotte. Nick, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, you got it. We'll see you at 11.
All right.